thoughts a day. 60,000. I was once giving a talk to a room full of truck drivers. I asked them the same question, how many thoughts a day do you have? They were all men. There were about 500 of them. They said, oh, that's easy. We have only one thought a day. I said, no, you have 60,000 thoughts a day. It's just they're all about one thing. I said, ooh, you got our number. Anyway, what's the percentage of thoughts that you have today that are the same as yesterday and the day before? How habituated are your thoughts? 95%. 95% of the same thoughts you had yesterday and the day before. And here's the most important question. What percentage of those thoughts are negative? For the average person, 80%. 80% of our thoughts are happiness-robbing thoughts. This is called the negativity bias. And we inherited this tendency from our caveman ancestors who had to remember the bad in order to survive, but we no longer need that tendency, and yet we have it. A friend of mine, Rick Hansen, calls this the Velcro Teflon syndrome. He said our minds are like Velcro for the negative. They stick to us, but they're like Teflon for the positive. And let me give you an example. If you get 10 compliments in a day and 1 criticism, what do you remember at the end of the day? Most people remember the criticism. They Velcro the negative. What we're about, what happy people do, is they Velcro the positive. So let me share with you one simple way, scientifically based, that we can create new neural pathways in the brain, because the truth is our brains get addicted to the negative. They get addicted to suffering. We create stress chemicals, cortisol and adrenaline, and this is why we want to hear all the negatives. We're out there, sharing all the bad news about people. It's because we get addicted to that negative. So happy people have trained themselves for the positive neural pathways. So this is a simple 3-step process that you can do that's scientifically validated. First step is to be on the lookout for the good. Imagine that you are trying to, one of the women that I interviewed for Happy for No Reason pretends that she's the Academy Awards Committee. And her job is to give out 5 Academy Awards a day. She's looking for like the kindest act of the day award, or she'll be walking down the street and she'll see a cute little fluffy white dog and she'll go, oh, that dog gets the cutest dog of the day award. So be on the lookout for the good. 5 things a day. If you've got kids or grandchildren, play this game with them. It's the Academy Awards game, looking for the good. Now, the second step is to savor the good. We need to savor the good for at least 20 seconds in order for it to create new neural pathways in the brain. When we savor the good for at least 20 seconds, it lowers stress hormone, cortisol, it creates these new neural pathways. This is where the real juice comes. So if you see a beautiful sunset, instead of going, oh, that's pretty, you want to sit for 20 seconds or more and let that register, let that, digest in you. It creates the serotonin. So, second step. Now, the third step is to go for a 3-to-1 ratio. 3-to-1 ratio means for every negative that you think of that comes to you, and those are not automatic, those negatives, you want to replace it with 3 positives in order to build these new neural pathways. So those 3 steps, let's summarize those, and we'll put them on the screen, and Christine is going to put them in chat for you, is to look for the good. At least 5 Academy Awards a day. Savor it for 20 seconds or more and go for a 3-to-1 ratio. It's a matter of what are you feeding in your mind? Are you continuing to feed your mind with fear, or are you feeding it with possibility? And so I want to do a little quick practice with all of us right now. There's a lot of fear in the world, and there's a lot of challenge right now, but there's also a lot of good. There's also a lot of positivity. And what I'd like you to do is select everyone and write into chat, what's one thing that you can look around at you and say, this is good. It could be some positive, kind acts, generous acts that people are doing all over the place. It could be something in your own life. I'm in Hawaii right now. Thus the palm trees in the background, that's real. This is not a fake scene. And I can just look everywhere around me and see beauty. So write it in the chat and let's read what other people are writing. The sun is shining, this program, my husband, my cats, I'm healthy. Birds are everywhere. My parents are alive, my garden, this program, goodness going on in the world, kindness of strangers, taking in refugees. The world is waking up.